Hi, I'm Liz Larson.
And I'm Bill McKenna. We're the hosts of the New Life Perspectives radio show.
We're also the creators of the Cognomovement system, where we help you rewire your nervous system so you can rewire your reality.
Join us each week for great conversations, amazing guests, and cutting-edge information on health, consciousness, and the keys to transformation.
Hey everybody, welcome to the show. I've got Bill McKenna here with me this week. Hey Bill.
Hi Liz.
Glad you're here with us. So it is the second week into January 2025. So if you guys didn't hear our New Year show, Happy New Year. Hope it's going great for everybody so far. I have some amazing news I want to share. Cognomovement is coming to London. Can you believe it, Bill?
International. And, we have a lot of listeners in UK. If you're in the UK, how would you like to meet up in person? There's an opportunity here. We're very excited. I believe is it Kensington? Which is just south of London, I think. Is that true?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, that's where the event is going to be. And it's actually going to be June 4th through 6th, June 4th, 5th, and 6th. And what this event is one of our live practitioner trainings. So our practitioner training has many pieces, and one of those pieces is live in-person training. And it is so much fun. It's a real hands-on experience, and it's for people who are in the practitioner training already. So the reason we want to announce this now is there is still time for you to get in the practitioner training course and be eligible to come to that event in June. We would be so happy to meet you. And really not just people in the UK, anywhere in the EU, it would probably be quite convenient for you to come to that event. So if you've been dreaming about becoming part of the Cognomovement family, now is your chance. And we know that it's been prohibitive for some people to come all the way to San Diego for that live in-person training. So this year, we are coming to you. It's going to be fantastic. Reach out to info@cognomovement.com if you think you are interested in becoming eligible to come to that event. And we'll get you going. We'll be happy to meet you there.
Very exciting. And the people that are, around the world, what a great destination. Some of us love to go on a summer vacation, and June is perfect, summertime in Europe. What could be better?
Yeah, we're really looking forward to that. So this week, we want to talk about eyes and how they affect your brain. This is such an interesting concept, Bill, interesting information. In our practitioner training, we have monthly meetings with our practitioners, and we do training, but we also hear their stories, and they share with us what they've been doing. It's been so fascinating. And this was our big topic, is some simple ways that your eyes are affecting your brain that you probably have never thought of. Really simple stuff, like glasses. So here's the premise, right, Bill? Your eyes are the visible part of your brain, and your eyes are a way to access all parts of your brain, your files, your memories, your emotions, but also your physical function. So we're talking about how you can use simple eye movement to access the brain and to change the way your brain is functioning, to gain more access, to gain access to your genius, right? Gain access to better movement, better mobility, gain access to more mental acuity. I mean, I think that falls under genius, but also just so your brain's more nimble, so you can find that word you're searching for, right? Remember that name that you're reaching for. But also to be calm, to not be so irritable like some of us are naturally, maybe autobiographical, right? To be in a better mood, a better state of mind, to really have your body be way more resourceful. So this is what we're talking about, is this part of the eye. And I think, Bill, this is one of my pet peeves. Why are we not taught this in school? Why do we not know this as a general part of our anatomy, that our eyes have such a big effect on our brain?
I don't think people really knew about it. It wasn't that it was being withheld. The teachers weren't taught, and it was not something that was known. But it's such valuable information. If we knew, at 5, 6, 7 years old, hey, you know what? There's a place that your perfect pitch for singing. There is a place of sadness. There is a place of joy. There's a place that you can put your eyes in and you're going to run faster. You're going to
It's true.
you're going
It's
to
true.
run faster.
It's true.
What the heck? Of all the sports, that over time that we've all done, imagine, like, you know what? During math class, wouldn't it be great to know that super logical part of your brain and be able to access it instead of like, oh my God, I'm struggling with the numbers. I just don't get what the heck they're talking about. And it bores me. And I can't even hardly pay attention, whatever that might be. But these things are very much accessible now. They're accessible, and it really just takes the know-how and the interest in doing the actual movements or understanding it.
It is so true. And don't get me started on kids and learning. There are such simple things that if most people knew, if educators knew about eye position, that they could help kids learn so much faster, so much better. This learning disability thing would be a thing of the past. Do you know that, for most of us, our left hemisphere, our brain handles math, handles some of those more linear things. Do you know that if you can train your brain to focus the attention through your right eyeball, you can access your left brain? So if kids who are not great at math focus through their right eyeball, it's a skill you can learn. You could get into that left brain and really understand math more easily. And it makes me curious. This would be a really good test to find out if people who are good at math just happen to be right eye dominant. People who are good at language are left eye dominant. I am horrific at math, and numbers escape me. And I am left eye dominant, meaning that my left eye is always accessing my right brain more often.
So this is, I'm sure, because you and me talk, we talk about these things, but can you tell everybody about this concept of left eye dominant, right eye dominant? I don't think most of us are like, what do you mean? I don't have a dominant eye. I'm just looking through at life, and this is how life is presented to me, but there's not a dominant eye. But tell us about the discovery of a dominant and recessive eye, and athletics, and many other things. Tell us about that.
Yeah, and there's so many things. It's mainly used in sports, especially archery or, marksmanship. They always test for dominant and non-dominant eye. And I think maybe even pitchers might do this as well, because your dominant eye is the eye that is going to ring true for where things are in space. So if you are, let's say, right eye dominant, but left hand dominant, that probably is going to go together well. But if you're the other way around, you're going to be off on the mark. So everybody can actually try this right now. And here's how you tell. You point your finger at an item anywhere, point at something specific, and then you close, like start with your left eye. And if you close your left eye and you are right on the target, you're right eye dominant. Now close your right eye, and you'll probably be off the mark by 6-8 inches a foot. That's how you tell. It's the eye that is accurate with where you're pointing to in space. And it'll flip back and forth, which is left and which is right on and which isn't. So when your eyes are open, both eyes are open and you're pointing and you're accurate, it really just means your right eye is the one that is telling you, where that item is. So it's really an interesting thing. What we discovered is, though, that
that's a fun one, by the way.
Yeah.
Everybody, I'm just gonna comment. I love this one because it's like chink, 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 chink. It's fun. It's kind of you know what? This would be a fun trick in school to teach people because literally it's really fun. You watch it, watch your finger going, to the left and or dead on to the subject.
Well, and it really gets into one of my favorite topics, which is what is reality. So if you have both eyes open and point at an object and then close your right eye and you're not left eye dominant, you're way off. Your reality is off. Like, no, that is not where that is in space. So your brain is not giving accurate information then through that left eye, but it is through the right if you're right eye dominant. So that's a whole other topic, but it's the brain processes information through these things we call our eyes, and it's not always accurate. But let's get back to left eye, right eye dominant. So in sports, it used to be thought that you were just left eye or right eye dominant, and that's the way it is. But in our work, we are constantly asking the question, what else is possible? And we discovered that with athletes, we could neutralize that left eye, right eye dominance. We could make both eyes accurate or strengthen the opposite eye. And what it means for someone like an archer or a marksman is they are way more accurate with both eyes. Their eyes and brain can triangulate specifically with both eyes where they are in space. What it meant for basketball players is that a right eye dominant person is stronger on the right side of the court, and a left eye dominant person is stronger on the left side of the court. So if you harmonize those, if you equalize them, they're powerful on the left and the right. It's also a way that we can help people become more ambidextrous using right and left hand in combination rather than having one be more dominant. Most of us are taught to have a dominant hand. Most of that comes naturally, but even in school, they teach you to write with the left or write with the right. This is one of those things, and why this occurred to me that we could make people ambidextrous is because I'm naturally ambidextrous. I would write with my left and my right hand. I would just shift the pencil over in mid-sentence. Well, when the teachers saw that, of course, they went nuts and said I had to write with my right hand, right? But I realized there's this capacity, and all it has to do with is which hemisphere of the brain has the capacity to access that part of the body. And we can change that through the vision, through harmonizing the left and right eye. So it's super fascinating. But more than that, we can teach the eyes, the brain, to shift hemispheres, all throughout the day. Left eye, right eye, left eye, right eye. Improves our vision. It improves our mental acuity. It harmonizes our brain. And it actually just allows everything to calm. This shifting hemispheres by just looking through the left and then looking through the right without even moving the eyes actually calms the nervous system, harmonizes the brain as well. We are up against a break, so I see a burning question on your brain there, Bill McKenna. Let's stop for a second. We'll hear from the good folks at the UK Health Radio, and when we come back, we'll hit whatever's percolating in that mind. Ready? Take it away, UK Health. Okay, we're back. We're talking about the eyes accessing your brain. We were talking about shifting hemispheres by just shifting the focus of the vision. So what was that? What that was on your mind?
This is so very, very interesting. And when we've brought this up with people, it's like, what do you mean focusing my attention? How can I possibly look through my different eyes? And the interesting thing is we all have the capacity.
Yeah.
So um, the other really super interesting thing is for most of us, once we do look through one eye and one eye only with our intention and hold it for maybe 30 seconds, 45 seconds, and actually get ourselves looking through that eye and then shift, let go of the left eye and look just through the right eye. You can feel literally your brain, the shift in the lobes of your brain. And it's literally left half, right half.
It
So
doesn't feel like your brain clunks into gear. It really does clunk.
It feels like a clunk. It's like clunk, clunk for left and right. So this is super fun because you'll feel physically in your head, plus actually feeling it in your eyes as well. And you know, one of the things that is fun about it is you're starting to take over control of your brain. Our thoughts come up, our feelings come up, and we're just not really able to control it. I feel how I feel, and the damn thought just came to me.
Yeah.
And whether I want to think about it or I don't want to think, bottom line is that with this simple exercise, you can start forcing information across the corpus callosum. That is a really huge thing, to be able to move information from the logic side of the brain, the left, to the creative side of the brain, the right. And you're just clunking back and forth. A wonderful technique.
It's true. If you understand that you can access the left hemisphere or the right hemisphere very, very intentionally through this simple focus of the eyes, you become aware that you can control a whole lot more about your life than you ever thought. Like, which hemisphere am I learning through right now? Or let's say that you are a person who utilizes your left hemisphere a lot more. You're a little more tense, that type A personality. And you have somebody in your life who is not that. You have a hard time relating to them. All you really have to do is be able to shift into that right eye, right brain, left eye, right brain hemisphere, and you immediately are able to understand them better. You have more compassion. You have more calmness around them. You think a little more creatively like they do. This is one of the tiniest pieces of Cognomovement, right? It's tiny. But the ramifications are just massive.
Yeah, it is. It is such a small little grain of sand in the Cognomovement beach. But there was a few examples. I want to just plant a seed. I want you to share the pro basketball player that you helped, who was dominant in one eye, and I want to have you share that. But before we do, there was a woman who came to me. We can't mention any names. Liz and myself had worked with her, and anyway, in close proximity. So this particular day, she came to me, and she was heavy into technology, marketing and technology. And what that meant is that she was extremely logical. Now, she came and she to me, and her right eye was red and swollen, and she was in a lot of pain and very tired, and she was like very stressed. Anyway, what was going on in her life was these projects. She had these projects which required tremendous logical focus, and she had set aside the parts of her life, the emotions, literally shut down her emotions, and with that, the stress part of the brain, the left part of the brain, just became extremely overactive. Anyway, we ended up doing different exercises and got the other parts of the brain involved by shifting lobes. The simple exercise of shifting lobes. There was much more to it. We used many other techniques, but there was a lot of difficulty in looking through the opposite eye. It was like, the eye starts blinking and it's like, I can't. And then you can. And with it, the stress went away. Stress is a left brain function, and right brain function doesn't have that. You're at peace in that.
It's super, super interesting. There's so many aspects of this, but that when a person really is so dominant in one eye, there's many reasons for that. It also creates torsion in the body. The muscles in the head and the eyes also contract around that. And you'll see a person even having their head turned to kind of look more with that eye, creating more torsion and stress in the neck. So this ability to shift hemispheres, the practice of being able to look through one eye and then look through the other, actually relaxes the torsion in the body, and a person will move better. I was working in tandem with a physical therapist, and she had a person who was having a lot of torsion, a lot of pain in the body. And so the physical therapist was using this tool of shimming up the feet and trying to create balance in the body. And so this particular physical therapist, when we work together, we do a lot of experimentation. Neither of us are hooked into one idea or another. We combine things. So I said, let's take all of that away. And I'm going to have the person look straight forward at a target about 6 feet away. And I'm just going to teach them how to shift hemispheres in the brain. And the physical therapist stood behind. And what happened was that the torsion went out of the body, the pain went out of the body, and the person, the goal that the physical therapist had for that person, they achieved almost instantly. It was a shocking thing, just to allow the cycling of moving left hemisphere, right hemisphere. And I want everybody to know that being right eye or left eye dominant is really a natural thing, and there's a reason for it. People don't realize this, but the brain does a lot of things to conserve energy, because our brain actually takes the most calories of anything in our body. So it will do things to conserve energy. So it'll put you let's just use one hemisphere. That conserves energy, right? Let's just put the attention on one side of the body. That conserves energy. Let's not actually see everything. Let's make things up. Let's fill in the blanks. That conserves energy. So it's really always the body trying to take care of itself, but it's not the place that we want to conserve energy. We don't want our brain conserving energy. We want that full brain. And it makes me think that that's why our bodies have adapted to use only a small percentage of 10% is energy conservation. The interesting thing is that when you start to use both hemispheres of your brain, most people have way more energy, right? Do you ever notice that, Bill, in session where people all of a sudden have a burst of heat when they're able to shift hemispheres easily? Have
Mhm.
you ever had that experience?
Yeah. They once these um situation, for example, the woman who was extremely logical and very accomplished, world class, sea level, uh, high tech person, but you can imagine what it takes to get there. And once that um, point of view got looked at from another perspective, another lobe of the brain, she found a extraordinary amount of heat in her body. So it sounds like a weird phenomenon,
Yeah.
but it's true. When that electrical current fires up and your system, I like to say we have a heater and an air conditioner in our body, and they're associated with left and right brain.
Yeah, that one's a real interesting one. Here's another one. There are so many things that we use glasses and everything for our eyes. Um, and one thing is double vision. So a lot of times older people will start to have a bit of double vision, and it happens when you have a real imbalance in this left eye, right eye thing. So it's one of the things that's super easily correctable is double vision. When we're working in Cognomovement, a lot of times we'll find that there will be an area of the vision that is double, and it may just be in one spot. And we use this funny ball that has these symbols on it, and people will say, "Ah, right there, there's double vision." And we use this tool: move into the left eye, move into the right eye, move into the left, move into the right. And within about 30 or 40 seconds, all of a sudden, there's no more double vision. The double vision is the eyes competing in a way. The signals coming in are trying to cross, and as you have discovered, if you close one eye and point and close the other eye and point, your eyes are seeing actually different locations. So these two inputs are just competing with each other. And for some people, it's only in a particular location or where there's a problem. But for other people, it's kind of all the time. My father-in-law would go around with one eye closed all the time. He looked like a Popeye, like a pirate. Like, Dennis, why do you have your eye closed? So I made him come in and work with me, and we were able to stop that from happening, that double vision. So it's just that simple, stopping the eyes from competing, but having them actually working together to view the environment. It's just a really, really simple exercise that anyone can do.
Well, the interesting thing about this is that ultimately what Cognomovement does is it builds mental acuity. You think it's your eye, but really it's your brain. We don't fix double vision.
No.
We build mental acuity. There is a part of your brain that we help to bring online. It's an amazing thing, mental acuity. Mental acuity is associated with your ability to just process information, get correct information, the speed at which you can process information. Your physical or athletic performance is tied to it. Your ability to see other perspectives. There is countless things that are associated with your mental acuity. And the interesting thing about mental acuity is just as much as we can lose our mental acuity because of physical injury, like trauma to the head, or emotional trauma, just the same as you can lose it, you can rebuild mental acuity. And what I think one of the interesting things, that Liz and myself say is, you know, what part of life is not affected by your brain? What part of your life would get better if you were literally 10 times the ability mentally? Would your relationships, would your finances, what would your day be like?
Yeah, it's all the things, having more access to your own brain through your own eyeballs and having more ability to choose how you process that information. I think that is really the bottom line of what we do. We just help people to have more access and to choose how their brain is processing. That really is the bottom line. All right. We're up against our time limit here again. Let's take a break and hear from the good folks at the UK Health Radio. All right, we are back. I'm here with Bill McKenna, and we are talking about how utilizing your eyeballs to access your brain has so many amazing functions. Like there's so many things we can do. We've been simply talking about just learning how to shift focus through the eyeballs, how it can change the way you process information. It changes the way you see. It changes how you relax. It changes how you learn. It's kind of an amazing thing. If you guys are out there and hearing this today, just try it out. You will be shocked at what it shifts in your body and in your life. There's one other thing that came out during our training session this week. And one of our practitioners was talking about wearing glasses and how when you wear glasses, you have a frame that blocks certain parts of your vision. And this is interesting. I know that when I wear glasses, and I try not to as much as possible, that my eyes get a little lazy, like they rely on the lenses to focus, right? My eyes will get a little lazy. So when I take my glasses off, my vision's worse. I don't like that. So I have a practice of if I put my glasses on when I've been at the computer all day long and my eyes are really tired, but when I take them off, I make sure that I really open up all of that vision again. I really stretch my eyes and the muscles around my eyes to make sure that my eyeballs are focusing, that the muscles are shaping the eyeball in the right way so that I still have my regular vision. But it hadn't occurred to me until she said it, that the frame blocks where our brain can see, because you can't see through that frame in a lot of ways, and your eyes will stop moving there. So people turn their head, right? When you have glasses on, you don't look through that peripheral area because it's blocked. You turn your head. And what we know is that anywhere that your vision is blocked, the access to your brain in that area is also blocked. Fascinating, right?
And what part of my brain is that?
Yeah.
What part is that affecting my relationships? Is that affecting how I feel about myself? Is that affecting getting new ideas, new concepts, problem solving? It is interesting. Like, where is that? A lot of times your frame of the upper part of your glasses is right about your eyebrows. Now, for all of us that wear glasses, even if it's just cheaters, would you ever wear your cheaters and raise your eyeballs upwards? No, that frame's there. There's nothing to see. It's annoying. There's nothing there. But here is a very simplistic reason that you're going to want to do what Liz said. The upper area here, when your eyes are up, this is associated with the prefrontal cortex, the forehead area. Now, This area is associated with executive function. This is associated with our ability to regulate our emotions, creativity, new ideas, inspirational things. Your connection with your spirituality often is up. There was an interesting documentary that I watched on all of the Marian apparitions. Marian apparitions are, across time. What is a Marian apparition? So you might be familiar with Fatima or these Lourdes, and all the children that were having these Marian visions. When I watched the film, all of their eyes were up. They were up. The eyeballs were up. Anyway, it is a natural function of your part of your brain that can tune in to that worship, divinity, or maybe simply some real executive function type problem solving
Ideas, right?
ideas. So this is extraordinarily valuable, what Liz is talking about related to your glasses. And you know what? That's just one position. That's just one gem for you today that can change your life.
Yeah, it's such an interesting thing. For some people, glasses are such a godsend, and so we would never recommend not wearing your glasses. But understanding that when you do, you naturally only have a certain amount of vision. Certain eye positions are not going to work to look through your glasses. And so to counteract that, to really, really get those eyes moving, to get them stretching, this is the thing that we teach in Cognomovement. There's a secret eye pattern. It's a pattern that accesses all parts of your brain, but also teaches your eyes how to regain this full range of motion, full vision. But for people who wear glasses, especially, if you can get those glasses off, and especially if you have a child who wears glasses, and literally in a big oval, if you would imagine you start with your eyes downward and you're going to stretch them way, way down, keep your head, chin, and chin straight and level, really stretch them down. Most of us never do that. It's like you're going to look at your own chin and you feel like this ache in the eyeball. That's those muscles that aren't worked, right? And then just start moving them like across over, like you're going to try to look at your own shoulder. And then you're going to try to look at that right wall. And then all the way up, like you're going to look at the ceiling, stretching those eyes. And I'll tell you this, if your eyes aren't a little achy, you're probably not doing it right. You're probably turning your head, because most of us just don't do this, so these muscles don't get used. And then move across the ceiling and then down that left side, like stretch your eyes as far as they can go. On the sides, it's almost like you're going to try to look at your own ears. And on the down, like you're trying to look at your own shoulders. And in the up position, like you're trying to look through your own eyeballs. Really, really stretch. If you add a deep breath onto that, a big in through the nose, out through the mouth, breath, you give the eyeballs and the brain oxygen. If you're somebody who was working like in an office with a lot of overhead lights, you're wearing glasses, you're looking at a computer all day long, or you're looking down, this is a way to get an instant energy refresh, and it'll clear your brain. Take 3 minutes, 5 minutes, and really stretch those eyeballs and deep breathe. And you'll find that it changes how you're feeling in the moment, how alert you are. It changes what part of the brain is working, and it gets those muscles stretching. And all of this is so important, and it's part of our body health that we don't think about. Everybody goes out and we jog and we run and we stretch. We don't work the muscles in our eyeballs. And what we are failing to understand is that when we don't work the muscles in our eyeballs, we don't give oxygen to the eyeballs, we aren't giving our brain the attention it needs. These eyeballs are going to help with brain health. It helps with our whole life. And it's one of those things that we're on a mission to get everybody working their eyeballs and getting access to their brain, getting access to their consciousness. You have higher consciousness when you know how to work your eyeballs. That's a fascinating piece. We don't have time to get into it today. But your consciousness, your awareness of the world around you, your awareness of the people around you, your awareness of things that you just don't see because you don't know how to look, that all comes online when you know these little tools of how to work the eyeball health in your body, right? It's a fascinating thing. I think you and I, Bill, could probably talk about it. We've been talking about it for years already, but it's like we could talk about it for ages and never run out of things that this eyeball brain connection can do.
It's fascinating. And the more we learn, and the more that people have these amazing life experiences where they bring parts of their brain online that were simply dormant, it just adds fuel to the fire. It's so exciting.
Yes.
You know, we're coming up on the end of the show, and I just want to reiterate the invitation to just outside London, Kingston, in the UK. What are the dates on that, Liz?
It is June 4th through 6th. 4 through 6, June 4th through 6th.
You know, if any of this was just stimulated you and fascinated you, you've just seen a couple grains of sand on the Cognomovement beach. There is so much more. That's why we're so excited about this. And we are out there looking for people like you, people that want to improve their own life, and then also expand out, help others. We're looking for force multipliers. We want to create Cognomovement practitioners, duplicate Liz and Bill out there so that you can get out there and do this. I tell you what, there's something that I didn't know when all of this started, and that was how much absolute joy it gives me and Liz to actually help somebody else, help them with the problem that could never go away. This is the most joyful work you could imagine. You will never work another day in your life as a Cognomovement practitioner because it's not work. You're like, I will do this for free. You know, that's how you feel. Like, oh, we got to get paid, but you know, it's such joyful work.
Yeah, and you know who it's really for? It's for that curious person. If you are a curious person, this is for you. I mean, because the discoveries that you make, even with, like I said, this tiny, tiny piece of Cognomovement, this, you know, shifting hemispheres by shifting the focus of the eyeballs, it is so tiny, but a person could specialize in just that and create a whole career around it.
Yeah.
And you would never, ever get bored because it's so powerful and it has endless uses across every kind of other career on the planet. You know, kids can use it, athletes could use it, doctors could use it, people trying to learn languages can use it. I mean, on and on and on. So if you're a curious person, this is for you as well, because it is just endlessly, endlessly fascinating.
And fun.
And fun. It's just fun. It is fun. And it is really joyful. We have such a good time with each of these little pieces and how they fit together. There are hundreds and hundreds of these pieces in Cognomovement, and it grows all the time. And so, you know, if a person loves something that expands and grows and is super dynamic, you know, this is the work. All right, you guys, we are going to say goodbye for now. Remember, please reach out to info@cognomovement.com if you're wanting to find out more about becoming a practitioner. The dates are at our upcoming events as well. And we just want to invite anyone who hears our voices and said, dang, this is for me, to get with it and join us. You can join us in London. We also have training dates coming up in San Diego as well. All right, Bill McKenna, this was fun. For now, we'll say goodbye. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Yeah. And until next time, everybody out there, be safe and be well.